Good morning, traders. Welcome back, of course. Trade the pool, ready to get at it. Guys, I'm seeing one name that I might trade right now, and this is where it gets hard, right? Because it seems like I have a tendency of finding a stock, and then, of course, right before the show, they wants to start moving. I'm looking at QUBT today, and I did take a trade in Kit, got stopped out on that one, but watching QUBT today for a potential break of 3. I just want to make it known right here. I don't think I'll even take the trade. I'm going to go to the playbook here, try to get right into the show, and we'll look at the trading action. A lot of stocks moving. I'm seeing the crypto names move. BTCT getting a nice little lift there. I am long in the main account on ETHU, so looking at Ethereum, seeing if we're going to get a run there. Let's take a look at all the action, of course. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. We got a lot to take a look at here. And guess what, guys? New competition? Yes, indeed. So get ready, guys. That's going to start December 2nd. I'll tell you guys more about it during the show. Let's kick things off with today's playbook and see what's moving out there. All right, playbook 1, we're going to take a look at retail. And the reason why I'm looking at this is trying to get ahead of course, what's coming right now, which is going to be Black Friday next week. So I'll be watching to see what happens here. XRT, can it get the lift, right? I think this is a really nice pullback that we're getting here. We've pulled back for 9 days now, pretty much filled the gap that was right here. So I think today is a great day to be looking to see if XRT can reverse back to the upside and start breaking through the highs. So that's 78.50. On the top end here, starting to break above that, and then maybe making a move towards 79 and then 80 by maybe the end of the week. So that's what I'll be watching for here on XRT. And of course, you guys can keep a watch to see if different retail gets the lift today. Of course, Target taking a big disaster. We'll talk about that in a little bit during, of course, the Sunrise report. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's go back to it. Let's go to Sunrise 2 or Playbook 2 here as we take a look at Celsius Holdings. And this is an interesting play because I don't think many are going to be mentioning it today, but I'm starting to see this get the move here. And I think it's a really interesting play here as this is turned around after a really bad disaster turn. I mean, this thing has been down pretty much for 6 months, right? Down 71%, back down to $26 when this thing was almost at 100. Now I think we need to keep watch to see if this can find a bounce area. Of course, I took a look at the RSI and things like that, starting to show that there's a turn that could be happening here. I think the important part is starting to get back through the highs, right? So yesterday we started to make a break towards that 27, 28. Now can we break 28, 29 and just keep going, right? That's what you want to be seeing on a rebound like this, a quick rebound versus a slow grind up. So we'll see if this starts to really kind of break and starts to hold. Any pullback into this area will be something to watch for, maybe a pullback to 26. But if we get to 30, this really starts looking a lot better and you start to turn around, maybe going to that 50 moving average to the 32. Not a bad perspective. If you look at that, that's going to be about 14% higher. We'll see what happens here in Celsius Holdings. Let's go. And another thing is I drank too many of these, but we ain't going to talk about that. That's all to do with the Twins. All right, let's move over now. Let's get to the third side of this. Let's talk about Wayfair. And I think Wayfair could also see a Black Friday lift. So you guys can see where I'm at today, and especially taking a look at these trades before they get the big move. And I could see Wayfair already getting some volume here. Now on a 3-day kind of push here, trying to get things going to really start making an attempt maybe back towards resistance. And you can see it here. Just recently in September, it was a very similar pattern that eventually started to get going. Then the gap up, and then it really starts to ride up there. So we'll see if we get the very similar pattern here in Wayfair. All right, guys, definitely keep your eyes on the action here. We'll see what happens with these plays. Like always, the playbook is all about just showing you guys how we can come in every single morning with a playbook ready to go. What types of stocks are we looking for, right? A lot of these are based on daily charts, thinking about story, thinking about technicals, thinking about fundamentals, and also what could be coming, right? Like we talked about it, the seasonality effect of Black Friday. Of course, smash the like, guys. We got a lot more for you guys, but the playbook not looking too bad today. Let's get over to some of the stock action. We'll talk a little bit more about some stock action. We'll get into different stocks that are moving. Target taking a big hit on the downside today. Let's talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, we'll get into different stocks. We'll see the Bitcoin names that are moving. I want to get right to the show because we might be having to trade some here in the morning, right? So definitely. Definitely, we'll see what happens there. All right, we'll see what happens there. Let's kick things off with the sunrise report. All right, guys, let's get to the action here. Let's take a look at the action there. Of course, we'll get over to this trading side of things. Let's take a look right there. I need to adjust this a little bit here. Just give me a second right quick, and you guys can see the back here. We'll go through that in just a second there. We'll talk a little bit about the competition in a little while, but definitely smash the like, guys. Let's see what happens out there. So let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Let's see what else I got to trade today. And I'll be watching to see if I can maybe get a nice trade off on this morning. I already took a little bit of a loss there in Kit. I like this trade. It just didn't kind of play out, right? It was a nice little pullback. It started to turn here at the 125. Didn't want to hold, so I let go of it there at the 111. Took a little bit more than a 10-cent loss there, about an 11-cent loss. Let's go over now and take a look there to the main account here, as I've been kind of back and forth on this one. I lost a little bit there on SLXN earlier. It was just a small loss there as it started to come down. So got out of that one. And it was only really kind of like a penny or two, but still lost about $60 because I was big on this SLXN. But we can talk a little bit more about some of the action that's going on out there. Let's go talk about Target. I just wanted to keep an eye out on that ETHU. Down a little bit, down about 2 cents there, but looking for this to make a nice little rip rally today. We'll see what happens. Target, though, destruction. You guys see my red line there, 140. If it came down to there, it was disaster station. And now it's broken and looks ugly. I think it could reject off of 140 today and get a little bit of a bounce, but this is the disaster as much as it comes here. Not looking good at all here. Target missed the Q3 earnings. They cut their full year guidance despite the price cuts and increased online traffic. Discretionary demands remained weak here as the shares plunged 20% in pre-market trading. Honestly, I don't even know what's going on here at Target. Because it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, when I look into the stores, when I do the kind of the boots on the ground, I see Target all the time packed. But maybe it's just not Walmart, right? Maybe it's just not Walmart kind of packed. And that's what's going on here. Of course, Walmart is viewed as a discount store, and Target is here as a discount store also, but it's really not a discount store. And I think the problem with Target is that they never really kick things off with their groceries. Very rare do people shop at Target for groceries. And I think that that's what they need to change here. Target, figure out a way to become more of a Walmart with your grocery. If you go into a Walmart, where do you see the majority of the people? You see the majority of the people where? You see them in, of course, the grocery side. But when you go into a Target, where do you see the majority of the people? You see them more into the special departments, right? The bedding, the toys, things like that, right? I think this is where the two are very separate and why some changes need to happen at Target. Let's get over now. Let's take a look at, and we'll talk a little bit more about Disney. I wanted to take a look at this conversation that was put out there, and I think this is interesting to talk about. Of course, they're announcing, and they just set sail next month, the Treasure Cruise, which is a new cruise ship for Disney. And Disney's really looking at a big start of a big fleet expansion here in cruise. Disney plans to double its fleet by 2031. With two ships coming out on 2025. So I'm looking at this and realizing, hey, Disney's making a move for growth in a different area, right? Not streaming, not in the other areas, really just focused here on cruise lines. And that's interesting to see. It's just something that's not going to affect it right now, but something that you can look for if you're a Disney investor. Of course, all eyes are open today as they'll be watching what? Of course, NVIDIA's earnings. And investors need to see what happens there with the Blackwell AI chip demand. That's what they're going to be talking about. Of course, CEO pushing it and pumping it as much as possible. He's like another Elon, I would say, Jensen Hung. He's saying called insane here, the demand that was for the AI chip. I think that he's a good fluff. Like, that's what you need from your CEO. If I wanted my CEO, I'd want him to be fluffy too. I don't want him to be kind of negative and a pessimist. So yeah, he's super optimistic about what's going to happen with the Blackwell AI chip. I think tonight we find out more. Really, it's almost prudent not to bet on the downside for NVIDIA, because even if you get it right, will it stay down? Right now, the way that I see this market is that if the market comes down, the Fed cuts and the market comes back up. If the market doesn't come down, well, guess what? The markets just continue riding higher. And I feel like that's what we're seeing right now. Unless something drastically changes, I do not see so much downside risk here, especially in Q4. Let's move over now to Delta Airlines as we talk a little bit about Delta. And Delta is kind of moving back and forth right now. You can see it was down a little bit earlier ago, now starting to bounce a little bit. So we'll keep an eye out on Delta here. Let's talk a little bit more about this. So Delta forecasting mid to single digit revenue growth in 2025, driven by premium seat demand and strong Amex partnership. Adjusted earnings are expected to grow 10% annually over 3 to 5 years. Of course, we've seen how airlines have been a little bit of a story in a little bit of a different story, right? Let me say that, right? Because if we think about it, look where Delta is compared to where it was trading before the pandemic. It's right there. It's right back. But of course, we've seen how some of these have not come back, right? Like Love is down at the bottom, $32. Looks interesting just to say, hey, maybe they start to actually change things up at Southwest Airlines. But American Airlines also 1433s making their way back, right? They're not back at 2020 pricing, though. If you remember 2020, at 2020 pricing, they were actually $34.29. So I think this is also an opportunity. I think we need to continue to watch to see what happens there. UAL, though, has been making that move. And look at how UAL, it's right back up there. So the two best of breed definitely have to be Delta and UAL. How they get back up there? Honestly, we can talk about it, but the truth is they are there. So now we need to see if they can continue grinding higher as the leaders, and then we start to see some of these laggards start to play a little bit of a catch-up. So JetBlue, names like that, we can start to take a look to see if they can get a push. All right now, QUBT, man. This is the one that I was looking at, guys. So let's kick things off on the show because I'm already missing a little bit of this run. I was thinking about getting in this at 280s. Let's see if it runs to 3. This is one that's on the radar today, and it's a quantum computing play. Nice daily chart. I could see it this morning. I had some alerts set at 276. It alerted me. Now it's starting to go, and who knows where this one can be at by the end of the day. QUBT. Not a bad one to watch. And just to mention that, BTCT was rocking and rolling. I saw it get to $20 this morning. It's pushing strong. Now the only question is, can these Bitcoin names hold on today? We'll find out. Let's get right to the show. Let's kick things off. Let's get to the trading side of things. And you guys in the chat, let me know, what's your top stock that you're watching today?
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. All right, guys, let's get to the trading action. Let's see what we can come up with. This is already moving into the 285, 286 range. We could get a nice little pop there. BTCT also getting the pop there off the $20 there. So I'm going to be trying to do a little bit of a different trade out there. I'm really looking at this ETHU. I'm looking at a couple of these to see if I can get a nice pop, and especially ETHU. If we think about it, I've been talking about this one for a while now, waiting for the run. If I look at the hourly, I have the setup here. And so the setups is already set up there. It has bottomed at 750s, and I'm looking for a rise towards 8. So today, this is the play for me, the top play that I do not want to miss. So what I'm trying to do is add through the 760s. I think that you could still get a pullback to 750s, but it's going to be a good look if it starts to get towards like 765. So I'm just keeping that on watch because I do want to add to this and take a big shot today in ETHU. So we'll see what happens there. 760s already coming into play. Can I get to the 765 and start to climb? So what I would look for is right before the bell. If this could be towards 775 or 774, we're going to be looking really well towards the bell there. I'll keep this one on the radar. Definitely one to watch. QUBT also making that move to 286, 287 now. So I'll keep this one on the radar. Let me go and put my scanners up to take a look at what else I'm seeing move out there right now. Kit starting to get a little bit of a lift there. I talked about that one. I got out of that one earlier, but I still think this is a good looking setup. It just came down towards the next layer. We'll see if it starts to recover. $2 was the interesting spot there on Kit that it could go to, but we'll see what happens there. QSI. Another one this morning that I saw getting a little bit of a lift and holding on sideways. So keep your eyes on that name. And of course, all the crypto stocks getting a little bit of a push there, even CleanSpark. This morning, I was thinking about taking a little shot there in the 1440s. It's already to the 1480s, starting to push back there. So I think you can continue to watch these names now to see if we get another run in Bitcoin today. And there could still be an attempt for that 100,000 before things turn around. SPAI was moving just a while ago, right? And so you can see that's been trying to build on the nice little cup and handle pattern. Doesn't look bad right now. The only thing that I would say is that it needs to hold this 9 EMA around the 280s right here if it really wants to get back through 3 and 350 today. We'll see what happens there. SPAI. All right, QUBT already to the 290s. This looks like it wants 3 right here in the pre-market. I've been missing this move, and I'm a little upset that I'm missing it. But hey, really should have got in there to like the 275s. And then right now I could be in that position of strength where I'm looking for the breakout through 3. We'll see what happens in QUBT. If QUBT starts going, IonQ is another one to maybe look at, right? That's quantum computing play, but just mentioning a different play in the same space. So it's sympathy off of that. All right, we'll see what happens with some other action out there, but let's keep it moving here. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that you guys are calling out in the chat. What's up out there, guys? How we doing? It's good to see you guys. I see a couple of names out there. I see, is that Tira? Shout out to you guys. What's going on out there? Some new faces. It's always good to see some new faces. Renee out there. Smash the like, guys. Eli, what's up out there? AI? You're just looking at standard AI? Let's take a look at that. That's C3 AI, right? Ooh, C3 AI with a big spike there, guys. So, yeah, something to watch for, guys. That's a nice spike there in the AI name. So, definitely keep your eyes on this bad boy. Big move yesterday. So, pullbacks to 30 is a spot for me. I can already see it. It stands out to me all day. Pull back to 30. Then maybe you want 35. That makes sense to me. Definitely could also hold around the 3150s, but I'd be looking for a breakdown below that 3150, closer towards the 30s, and then starts to recover. Not a bad one. C3 AI, put it on the radar. It's moving, and who knows? Maybe all AI's moves start to get the move. I think you could take a look to see if maybe this TEM makes a move, especially if you're seeing that AI make a move, right? This is a Tempest AI, but just mentioning another AI name. Mara getting a little bit of a lift this morning already. MSTR getting a big lift. That's where the strength is right now, especially in some of these crypto names. We'll see what happens on this one. And there's a leverage one name, right? I think it's MSTR. Is it X? MSTX. Yeah. So there's a leverage one here that's a little bit smaller price, but still higher price. It's 160, but definitely getting the push. And this is a leverage in the MSTR. All right, ETHU now starting to get a little bit of a push there. Still looking for the 765s. Here's QUBT, man. It's frustrating, guys. Sometimes I should have taken this one right before the show started. It's just so hard for me to get into a stock and then start the show, right? Because you guys would see me just like this, right? And so that's the key there. I'm trying to go ahead and trade, but man, that's a frustrating one to miss out here. QUBT almost to 3 already, 298. We talked about this at 280s right when the show started. It's almost there towards 3, right? So boom, there's 298. There's 3 hitting here. Will it break out through the 3? 304, the resistance. From there, you got the next spot, 320. Let's see if it starts working some of that gap from Friday, which could close all the way up to 4. So who knows where QUBT is at in just a little bit here. There's a 3 break now towards 301. Will it go to it? Wall here is going to be closer towards 305 and 307. I have the 304 resistance there. Let's see if we break through that resistance and really start to climb. But man, 303, missed this one. Should have been taking this one, guys. This one would have been a nice $300 winner in the limited account. But it's just very tough to take these trades right before getting on the show. But hey, the setup was there. Sometimes you just got to take it and maybe just set a stop. The problem is, of course, stops don't work in the pre-market. AI signed a deal with Microsoft. That's not a bad deal at all. I'll take a look at that. I didn't even see too much information on that. So let me go take a look at that relationship really quickly. Of course, AI with Microsoft, that's a good name to be mentioned with, right? So let me just take a look here. Strategic alliance with Microsoft to accelerate the adoption of enterprise AI on Azure. I mean, this is going to help. But I think this is just a partnership with a big name, right? It doesn't really necessarily say what is going on here, right? It just says there's an alliance, but definitely something to pay attention to. AI, nice little push there in QUBT, got to 310 already, broke that 305 resistance. There's another resistance at 313. That's the next spot to look at, but missed this trade, and nice trade indeed, guys. I hope that somebody out there was paying attention towards the bell or paid attention to this QUBT. Somebody made some money at least. Man, it's a frustrating one to miss, especially right before the bell. All right, we'll see what happens on some other action there. ETHU still not getting a little spike there. I'm waiting for it. BTCT pulling back now, 1965. So we'll look to see if we get the push back towards 20. The Qs overall now starting to take a dump, guys. So just to kind of mention that, yeah, we were down yesterday. Things were looking like it bounced. It was a big bounce yesterday. Well, guess what? Well, we'll see what happens today, right? Can we go right back down? Yeah, there's no reason why we can't. I think we're playing a little bit of some choppy action here, and we got to keep watching to see what happens today. Oh man, that QUBT is gonna just make me feel like I got a little FOMO action, and that's the truth. It is making me feel a little FOMO. SPAI 304. We'll see if this one can make the move. It's back above the 3 spot. We've seen this one try to recover multiple times. It's kind of like a little bit of a cup and handle pattern back through 321. Can it make the move today? Find out, team. Find out. All right. Shorting is it expensive once funded? Turd Trader's asking. Honestly, Turd, I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, Turd. Like always, I'm fully transparent. Always going to tell you exactly what I know. I do not know if it is expensive. I know that certain ones might be expensive, right? Certain names that have maybe like a high borrow cost or something like that could be something to think about. But that's just something that I'm talking about, right? Turd, is that your strategy? Are you more of a shorter? All right, taking a look out there. Baidu mentioned out there. We could take a look at that action. GM, NVIDIA. Let's go to some of these, of course. Let's go to GM. GM, how's that doing lately? Pulling back on the daily. I thought this could get some kind of lift with that autonomous mention. It hasn't gotten the lift at all. Baidu, of course, Chinese name, and starting to get a little bounce, but we still haven't heard anything else from China on how they're going to try to create stimulus to get this back up there. So I think that's what you're watching for, and you're just waiting to see some kind of positive news out of China if you're going to get that money. Thanks, Mitch. Yes, short. Yeah. Hey, it's how it goes. I think reach out to our customer service team, but I think the answer is going to be like that too. It's going to be general, right? Because it depends on the stock, right? That's what it's going to depend on. We'll see what happens with some other action there. NVIDIA yesterday, you guys know I wanted to trade this and did trade it. I made a nice trade on this. I sold it a little early because, man, NVIDIA went all the way up there to 148, 4.6 points higher. And of course, you guys know I had 600 shares, right? So that's definitely something interesting. Here's Tim to help out here, telling me that no cost to short, just some of the orders won't fill if no locate availability for the firm. Don't have to do anything special. There you have it. Simply put by my man Tim. Appreciate you, Tim, like always. All right. No extra cost once past the eval, and only fees in the account are commissions, which are eval / funded. There you go. There you go. Just the fees, right? That's all you got to be worrying about mainly if they have the shares to locate there. So we'll see what happens there. NVIDIA pushing towards 147.60. Another great trade yesterday was Google, and sold this one also early. So that was a trend yesterday. I made $1,000, right? It wasn't a bad day, but still, I mean, Google went higher. I sold it around the 177.60s, and this thing went what? Another 2 points, and I had 600 shares. So missed out another, $1,200 there available to me. So that's the important part, understanding these, trying to grind them higher, trying to make the money when the trends go in our favor. And big day yesterday. Shout out to my man Steve that joined me yesterday. Definitely had a good day with him. And the fun part was we were just looking in the market and kind of bouncing off each other. And that helps so much, right? All right, we'll take a look at some different stocks out there. It's 9:01, guys. We still got about 30 minutes before we get to the bell here. Smash the like. We got a lot more for you guys. It's Trade the Pool. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving, guys. All right, and you guys out there, what's going on? What's going on out there, traders? See a couple of you guys out there on X and YouTube. Smash the like, guys. There's some more traders in here. More people in here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it moving. What's going on stocks you guys are looking at? Take a look at the pre-market movers here. Let's see the scanning action. All right, not seeing too much in the last 15 minutes. Looking around. DJT getting a little lift, but it's not much. BTCT still fighting, guys. ETHU now towards that 763, hit the 765. So it's time to maybe take that ad there in Ethereum. I'm willing to take it here in the pre-market. So let's see what happens here. This is going to be an interesting one for sure. Willing to take a shot there in ETHU today. See if I can get 760s, but I think it just might take off. That's the problem here. All right, I'll put 760s. We'll see if it pulls back and gives me just a little bit of a pullback fill here. If not, if it just takes off to 770s, that's where we can start taking a look also to see if this really wants to push. But looks good, guys. And this is one that I definitely want to have some bigger size into and look for the run closer towards the 8. We'll see what happens there. Looking good. Let's go, ETHU. All right, we'll see if that can keep going. Looking for the little run in Ethereum today. And you can also play this with just plenty of different plays. I mean, I'm going with a 2 times leverage one, but you got the grayscale, which is just ETH. You got ETHV as another one, the Van Eck Ethereum. There's plenty of these. And why am I trading this one? Well, a big part of it is the relative strength compared to Bitcoin has been pretty weak for Ethereum. I'm looking for that to play catch up now and start to make a move. All right, still looking good here on that 765, starting to recover there. Thinking about adding, but I don't want to ruin my size, also my average there. So a pullback below 762s is what I'm looking for. But the strength is really starting to come in there. And by the bell, it could already be gone. We'll see what happens there. All right, looking around, what other ones are making a move here? A little bit higher price ones. DJT getting a little bit of a spike there, 30.66, guys. So if you're looking for a trade today, I think DJT is on the radar. So nice little spike above 30s, pulled back here, now spiking and holding here. 30.74s. Will it just continue to climb? You know how DJT likes to make moves when it starts to get the run. And of course, what are you seeing here? A nice daily kind of bottoming action now. I think you can start to look to see if you get some kind of trend line approach where you start to make a break towards the upside. So right now, that would be a move back towards, let's say, 33 today. So I'd keep that on the radar. Look at the hourly. Look how you just undercut that, and now they're starting to make a little bit of a breakout. It looks interesting there on DJT. Can you get back there towards this body close, which is 32.83? Yeah, it's moving there. 30.70s right now. We'll see if it can keep going and get that push through 31. Canceling my ad on ETHU. It's just sitting there, so there's no point in just adding. I'll just let it sit there for a little bit in the green. We'll see what happens towards the bell. All right, catching up with the chat. What's up, traders? How we doing? What are we looking at? NVIDIA earnings later today. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think yesterday was a great day to play NVIDIA. I think today's going to be a little bit of a tough day, right? And NVIDIA is already dropping here in the pre-market. I think a lot of that is that it's already had a nice little earnings run right before, a 3.4% move. So you could see pullbacks today, closer to the 145. That's where I could see the pullbacks coming to. So like this resistance right here. So 140, 144.30s, 145 is where I can see the pullback. The breakout is at 149.16, maybe a run to 150 today. We'll see what happens there in NVIDIA. Kit. All right, we'll see what happens on that one. Of course, I still want to set an alert there on Kit just to let me know if it starts to make the move. I still like this trade. It just needs to get back above like kind of the 120s, 130s, and then it can really start to make the move. ETHU now 768, so it's making the move here. I'm going to go for the ad here and see what happens. Of course, this is a little bit of a tough ad here, but it's just how it is, guys. I'll still put it down like a penny or two just to see if we get pullbacks. So I'm trying to add on pullbacks. That's if it wants to give it to me, right? So if it pulls back, I'll get the fill. If not, let it ride higher, up 115, trying to bounce back on ETHU. Already getting the lift there, 771. Looking good there, guys. This could really run. This could get all the way up there to 8 and above today. So I'm still looking to add on this, maybe make like $1,000. We'll see what happens. That's the idea there. It's not a small trade. I'm looking to get bigger. It's just starting to run and run. So you know how that goes, right? Can't fight it right now. It's just running. We'll look for some pullback and clean spark in some of the Bitcoin names, especially out the gates. Good morning, Jim. It's good to see you guys out there. Good morning to everyone out there. Who's ready to go trading today? Keep throwing up those stocks. I had a great day yesterday. Limited account, not as great. I mean, but it's going to always be back and forth, guys. It's not just going to be one way. Limited account still in the green, up 408. Need to keep battling there. How'd that QUBT go? QUBT got up there to 3. Got up towards 310. Now starting to reload off of the 3. Look at Ethereum go, guys. Now 776, guys. So already getting a nice move here in the pre-market, up 175, guys. And this is rocking and rolling here. So we're looking good already, guys. Look at the run in Ethereum. This is going to be one to watch, guys. So definitely a nice little move here. Looking good. Looking good. ETH, Ethereum. Let's see what happens. Will the lag from Bitcoin go to Ethereum? Look at the push now, guys. 782. Looking good here, guys. Looking good indeed. I could start taking a look at some of these other ones to see if I can maybe get an entry here. ETH. Let's see if I can get an entry on this one. Spread to 29.85 by 29.65, but let's take a look at the action there. Hasn't really moved much this morning. This was on a split price, so it's going to be looking already a little bit better here out the gates. I don't mind taking a shot on this. The only question is, how do I go about it? What's the sizing needed, right? That's what I'm looking at right now on this ETH. Had a split right now today. The day before, it makes a nice little lift. Of course, we saw a couple of ones. What was the one that did this just this week? Man, what was the leverage name that did it this week? Oh, SMCX. So I'll show you guys that one, right? That was this move right here where it did the split. It opened up there at the split, went to a low of maybe 4 cents down. And on the first candle, went up there towards like kind of 1989s, eventually towards the open, up there towards 27.45. So I don't think this is a bad one to watch there. ETH. We'll see what happens here. It could already get the move, but definitely something that I'm looking at. I want to trade it already here. Maybe take 100 shares there and then see what happens towards the bell. Let's see if I can get in here. This is going to be something different, guys. Honestly, it's something different to trade this. Normally, I stick to the smaller names, but I like the setup on this. I like the way it looks. It's not trading much in the pre-market. No volume. But with trade the pool, I don't have to necessarily worry too much about that because I'm not going to affect the price too much on an eval. So let's just try to get the starter and learn from this, right? That's all we can do sometimes. I'm going to try to learn from this and take a shot. All right, guys, long there, a little bit there. And look at the net P&L. That's so wrong there. The current price, not accurate there, guys. So we'll see what happens there. If it stops me out, it's going to be really interesting. But we'll see what happens there, guys. This is going to be interesting when it opens. The opening price going to be so important on this ETH. Let's take a shot, guys. We'll see what happens on that one. We'll be focused towards the bell on that. Let's go back to ETHU. Of course, leverage played. Just trying to kind of grind this up higher, see if I can keep pushing. It's looking good right now, 781. Got all the way up to 784. That is a nice move right on the opening action. Let's go, guys. Let's see what happens today. All right, guys, super excited to get after it. It's going to be an interesting one today. Let's go. Celsius Holdings. We'll see what happens on that. XRT. ETHU now towards 782s. It got to the 785s. If I can get to 8 right here in the pre-market, I have to sell. So we'll see what happens here, guys, if I can get it up there. Now looking back, definitely should have gone for the ad, right? And that's just hindsight 2020, though. I'm just going to say it, right? That's just hindsight 2020. We'll see if we can keep this pushing strong towards the 8. I don't mind taking it off right now in the pre-market if it hits 8, right? I mean, that's just money in the bank. We'll see what happens here. Putting out that order there towards the 8 there. We'll see if it can get up there towards 8. Already have the sell order out there because I feel like there's just no point in me not having it out there, right? So definitely something to watch there. We'll look to see if we get back through the 85s into the 790s. I don't mind selling and running. So we can take a nice little gain there and then just start to push. We'll see what happens there. Now pulling back, and it's okay if it pulls back some, right? That's kind of expected after a nice little run. I'll look at the 5-minute and watch this 9 EMA. That shouldn't break now. It should continue driving on that. We'll see what happens. ETHU. All right, looking around out there to see the scanners, what's going to happen here before the bell. Anything else that I'm missing? You guys in the chat, what are you guys watching? Anything that's starting to make a move out there? Definitely one to watch, guys. Smash the like. Let's go. Let's go. All right, getting a little coffee here. Woo! There you go. There you go. Looks like my man Richard Wong got paid. Got paid, guys. All right. Big stock trading competition announcement today. We'll be talking more about it here. Stick around, guys. QUBT hanging out on that 297. Could take 3 out the gates there. That's what I'm watching. Hood moving this morning. Clean spark. Sparking it up. Let's go, team. We'll see what else is out there. Smash it up. Smash it up, guys. All right, looking around to see what other trades are making a move here. I'm trying to trade here. I'm making money on ETHU. Trying to make some more money on some of these Bitcoin plays. Really, it's going to be important watching the gates here to see what happens. I'm looking in also to the scanners to see what else is showing up there. It's 9:15, looking well here in ETHU. 782, look like it wants to keep pushing. ETHU. 783s. Can we take the 785s? Just keep it rocking and rolling here. 795s around there. I might just take the money and then just try to get back in at the open. Maybe I get a pull back out the open and I can just go ahead and get back in here. So looking for the push through the 780s, but if it ain't going to give it to me, hey, might just have to take the 780s here. I mean, it's not a bad gain. It definitely is 225. Still a pretty good gain. Normally, at least from the size of this, of the price, I'd be at 2,000. 2,000, this is a $500 trade here. So it's usually around a good level here to take the profits and run. I'm just looking to see if I can get a little bit more to the 8. We'll see what happens there. Canceling my sell order at 8. I don't want to be showing my hand there at 8. I'm just going to continue to watch the action here, especially towards the bell. QUBT coming back for that 3 here. So it could just start to break that 3 and make another kind of attempt higher here on QUBT. We'll look to see what happens on that one. That's not a bad name at all. How's the trade on here, guys? Now the price is starting to correct there on ETHU. I'm actually down a little bit there on ETH. That's the one I took there. 29.75. We'll see what happens on that one. Really, what I want to do there is just keep it on the sideline for right now because I don't know how this one's going to react out the gates. And definitely, I have a limited account, right? So it's only 300 max risk. I have 60 down, so only 240 to play with. Got to be smart here. Got to try to nail this ETH, especially out the gates. All right, ETHU pulling back to that 75 now. So you did get a little bit of a pullback. We'll look to see if we get some buying to come right back in, especially towards the bell. That's where it's going to be important here. 917, almost 920 here. We'll see what happens with BTCT. Of course, that's also battling, trying to get back above the $20 spot. Will we get another run in Bitcoin today? I think a lot of traders are looking for it, and that's a little bit scary, right? When everyone's looking for the move. I think that you're seeing some of it. Now, can it continue today? I think you got to keep watch, especially out the gates. We could still get a little bit of a wash. Still holding right now around the 780s. It did go to 75 and held there. So good little pullback if it could take the next move on ETHU. We'll see if BTCT takes 20 again and goes to 21 or 22 before the bell. What's up, FJF? How we doing? It's good to see you. Def Kit, QSI, not bad ones to watch. What are the names you guys got out for me there? What are you guys trading this morning? Throw it up in the chat. You got a moment. All right, looking around here, trying to see what other sectors and industries are starting to look good here. Utilities have been on a straight takeoff, and the daily chart looks like it wants to take another move today, guys. So keep your eyes on that one. Duke, Nextera, Energy, all these starting to look a little bit better this morning. Southern Company trying to get a little bit of a push there. I'd keep an eye on them. They don't look bad there. Even Dominion Energy, Excel has already been on a little bit of a push there towards 70. So definitely good outlook there in utilities as they're pushing strong there. Cyclicals, of course, I'll tell you guys the trade that I'm looking at, and that's XRT. We talked about that just a little while ago. So I do need to keep XRT on the radar, even though I'm trading this. So let me go ahead and set an alert there on XRT. But let me know when it starts to recover here, because I think it's very important. 78 recovery will be something to watch for. You can look for department stores to see if they can recover today, like A&F and different action out there. GME, can it stay hot? GME has been staying hot here. Let's see if it makes another run today. Of course, Target affecting this a little bit on the downside. It's down big, but it is starting to bounce back. We'll see if this can bounce back today. Dollar Tree, though, taking a big hit. And I think that what you're starting to see is that these DG Dollar Trees are just not what they used to be. And these could be in some serious trouble. We'll see what happens with that one. Still continuing to look around to see what other trades are making a move today. I see NIO on the downside, XPEV on the downside right now. So definitely would be kind of avoiding that trade. We'll see what happens. Penn on the downside. Yeah, Penn not going anywhere, man. This has been a complete disappointment. All right, looking around at some other ones here, and we did get mentions of AI earlier, and I got to give a shout out to definitely bringing up this stock, because even I am not watching this one, and it's doing pretty well. We'll see what happens. Yesterday, big move there. DJT kind of chopping around here. Could pull back to the $30 first before it takes the next move, but it's starting to move at least today. ETHU pulling back to the 75s there. I'm just hanging out here, and the 90 MA is grinding higher, which is a good sign for me. So now I'm just looking to see that the MACD kind of stays crossed on the 5, and you can see that expansion there. So it looks pretty good here. Just needs to kind of continue to develop and build some more volume for a bigger breakout. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving. What else is out there? Baidu mentioned out there. Eli, you trading that AI? We'll see if we can nail that one. And some of the smaller names are still kind of just sideways, not really getting too much in some of these smaller ones today. AUR still on the radar. Mobileye still on the radar, guys. You guys know I traded this at 16. Looking for a move to 17 today, especially if we can have a bullish day. Recovering 17s could get you that nice little move back towards 1760s, and 18 today in play. We'll see what happens also in different outlooks out there. Healthcare has been a disaster after disaster. Look at the daily chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days on the downside, 7 days on the downside. Now getting a little bit of a bounce. We'll see if it gets the bounce today. Eli Lilly had some good news, so we'll see if that's the stock that gets the bounce. If this washes out and it's back at 700, it's going to be really bad for healthcare because it's getting that small little bounce. We'll see if it's able to hold. XLV, man, it still looks like a short for me. If anything, it's a rejection off of this level back towards 142.40s and then right back down. We'll see what happens in the healthcare space as it's been heavily hit in the last couple of weeks. Industrials, of course, pulling back and not making a breakout attempt just yet, but I think this is one to watch. I still think CAT is one to keep an eye out for. A break back above the 390s, going to the 400. These are your Trump trades, right? And so I think you got to watch that. Deere is another one to watch. I think it has earnings. Is it tomorrow night? I believe so. Let me just confirm here. Yeah, tomorrow, Thursday, before the market opens, Deere will be reporting. So if we can have a really good move in the NVIDIA tonight and the markets are booming overnight, I'll be looking to see if Deere can keep things going towards that earnings report. Of course, it'll be an interesting thing to look at if we can see Deere at the open tomorrow be closer towards this 420. This is the sign that we're going towards the upside. That's what I'm looking for. I put this box there on when? Created it on October 16th. That's how long I've been looking to see if Deere can make this move. We'll look to see if we get that push back towards the 420. ETHU right back down to 767, 765. So definitely, yeah, maybe you could have taken the profits there into the 80s there and just taken a little bit of some gain there and then getting ready for the bell here because we're almost back towards my entrance. And I'll be looking to maybe take an ad there and take a swing. But the truth is, should have already cashed and then gotten back in. That would have been the better approach here. All right, we'll see what happens towards the bell. It's going to be back and forth action, and the limited could be in some trouble if Ethereum keeps coming down here. Back and forth action in this ETH. Now we're starting to get a little bit of a pullback on that. So that's definitely going to be back and forth there on this one. I'm watching for the action. We'll look to see if it goes back there towards the 29.80s, $30, and starts to push. Down 22 already. This is going to be one that would be interesting. It's something different that I took just based on the action that I was seeing. So we'll see if the sympathy plays out. All right, seeing some new comments. Don't be a fool. Trade the pool. I like it. I like it. 925, continuing to watch their Riot. Trying to start a Riot. Let's go. Let's start one. 1265, continuing. 1275. Looking good there on the hourly. One thing I'd say is be careful for attempts down to this trend line. You could still get a pullback to 1250, 1240s, and then the breakout towards 13. I think you're starting to see a little bit of a lift off this level here. So I put it to this body close. So a nice hold of 1250, 1254 would be a good thing to look at now, and seeing it take that high of 1279. So Riot, one to watch, just broke above that 1250s. Now can it hold that and continue pushing today? Mara, we'll see what happens on that one. It's not a bad-looking stock here and not a bad-looking trade. The only thing is, I just hate when Mara dumps on kind of their investors. They do it often. They just raise money, and that is never good in the long run. Let's do it. Let's bring it on. ETHU will bounce at the 200 moving average, says Jim. It's not a bad one to watch today. I think it gives me the potential to have a nice gainer. We'll see what happens there. ETHU. All right. And what time frame are you talking about on the 200? Are you talking about on the daily, the 1 minute? Because the 1 minute would be down here around the 760 spot. So we'll see what happens there. ETHU. All right, looking around to see what else is moving here. Q's coming down, down she goes. I talked about how we could see a little bit of some downside action here. We're seeing the VIX take off just recently, guys. This has done a nice little move in the pre-market. I need to start trading this a little bit more. 64 cents higher there on the VXX. Nice little push. All right, guys, it's 9:27. We got about 3 minutes here for the bell. Any other names you guys want to mention? Now is your shot there in the chat. If not, definitely smash the like, guys. And take a look a little bit later today at the trading competition. We'll talk a little bit more about it closer towards 10:30, but I just wanted to mention it. Yes, we have another competition, and you need to sign up. Sign up today. Like always, team. We'll talk more about it here. The Rule the Pool competition coming to Trader TV, coming to you guys right here. We'll keep battling. I'm excited for another competition. Got close to the top 10 last time. Was I think top 15 at one point. Need to keep pushing, guys. Want to make that top 10 for sure on the next comp. QUBT still looking good off that $3 spot. That's going to be one that I'll be watching back, especially out the gates here. Since I'm already in a name, it's kind of hard. This FBRX, making a huge push here, guys. I did not catch this one when it was starting to move. Even my scanners didn't catch this one. So it's interesting when my scanners don't catch one, yet it starts to make a move. So this one moving fast, guys. 26% in the last 5 minutes. 46% in the last 15 minutes. So FBRX, big breakout there. Spreads a little wide, about 20 cents there. We'll see if it holds 10 on the pullback and takes 11 here. Nice big breakout, FBRX. All right, we'll see what happens here in ETH. Bell's about to open, guys. We got about 1 minute here, guys. Let's get to it. Let's focus in. Let's do what we are here to do. You know what time it is, guys. It's time. Let's go. Let's go trading. See what we can do, traders. Let's go. All right, here we go, guys. 30 seconds towards the bell here. What will happen towards it? We'll be watching both accounts. First, I'm going to focus on the limited. Then I'll go to the main account. But, of course, watching ETHU, watching QUBT, some of the names that I'll be watching towards out the gates there. But definitely look around to see if you guys see any big move. We'll talk all about it right here. Let me lower down that volume. That was a little serious. Let's go, guys. Let's see what we got here. Here's the opening bell. ETH is what I'm watching here. We'll see how it reacts here towards the first action. That's what I really want to watch. Mobileye giving me the alert for the 17 move, so that's definitely something to watch there. 17 there for Mobileye. Big push there. Look to see if this can get a nice little lift there. It's actually dropping really fast here out the gates. QUBT just broke the 3. That one's interesting. It just broke 3. Now pushing towards 303. We'll look to see if it breaks 310s and really starts to climb. There's 310s. Right back to it. QUBT. Nice move there, guys. This one's going to be hard to trade here. The spread, the way that the stock is moving, it's just a little bit all over the place here for ETHU. So I need to set a risk here. Look to see if this can move higher there. What was that bottom candle right there? All right, it's going to set the risk here. It's hard to trade this one right now because of the way that the spread is right now. So I'm trying to get closer to it and adjust the pricing here. We'll see what happens on there. Set the 76 stop out there. Look at QUBT though, man. A little frustrating to miss this one, guys. Should have been trading this one out the gates instead of this ETH. I'm just sideways, not doing anything there. And I should have been looking for this one. This was a really nice setup. Big breakout, the 320s right out the stop there. QUBT, definitely a really nice trade there. Going to be frustrated. It was just too much to look at there. And I just got into a name that really shouldn't even be into. Should be focusing on this QUBT. Updated 328. Really nice setup. 3 was the move. 280 could have been the entry earlier on where I could have really made the money. I mean, man, I keep missing positions on something that is just something I normally don't miss, guys. Like normally I don't miss on this QUBT. So it's a little frustrating now. And of course, I can't do too much about it right now because now going into this, I feel like I'm chasing. So it is what it is, guys. Got to handle it. Got to be able to stay on top. Got to be able to stay in what I call the zone and focused on that. Should have just focused on ETHU and not gone into this limited with the ETH. But that's just talking about it here. We'll see what happens. ETHU back to 763. Thinking about adding to this. We'll see what happens here. Out the gates there, the SPY coming up, but coming right back down. The Qs look pretty weak here. We could crack down on the downside here. Let's see what happens on CleanSpark. Nice big rip there in the crypto names. BTCT. Nice little push there to 20s. Now coming right back down, but CleanSpark did a nice little push there. Mara, nice little push there. So good move in some of the names out there. I'm just not cashing. A little upset there because this should have been already kind of into the green there. So instead of getting the faster move, I'm getting a little bit of a slower move right now out the gates. QUBT, man. Oh my God. At least I brought it for you guys. At least I talked about it for you guys. Oh man, now 340s, guys, 340s. That's already out the gates, 16% there in QUBT. Definitely a frustrating one out the gates there. Mobileye also to 17, guys. I talked about how this one could take 17 today. Nice looking chart as it held yesterday. Now taking the 17s. Will it go there to 18 today? It's one that I'll be watching. Mobileye. This one you'd want to see Tesla moving also to the upside. That could be a nice little sign that you're in a good position. AUR going down a little bit today. Not what I wanted to see there on AUR, but Mobileye hanging in there, at least for the time being here. Oh, man, that one's frustrating me on QUBT, man. It's like the chart right here, like look at this. Oh, man, that's just how it goes sometimes, traders. That's just how it goes. Look at that. At least I was on the right one. Just didn't nail it. And that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Just gotta let it go. QSI halted. QSI 168 on the halt. All right, probably gonna get stopped out in my limited trade there. Really close to it. QUBT coming right back down there, guys. Watching this ETH here, it's just pulling back. It's not doing much, and that's the hard part there. I should have seen already a lift there, so I'm looking to see if ETHU lifts, but I'm just double dipping, and I hate double dipping, so. We'll look to see if it goes to the 29.30s, 29.25, and I'll just get out. Pull back on QUBT, pretty big there, so keep your eyes on that one. FBRX back down to 959. Looking around to see what's moving now. I'm seeing SLXN, NXTT as one of the names that are moving out there. Of course, QSI is on a halt, so keep your eyes on that one. SLXN getting up there fast. I'm seeing some warrants out there move, Clean Spark warrants, up 12%, so that's an interesting one, seeing that warrants action. Get that attempt down here in ETH here. I'm just going to set the risk and just walk away. We'll see what happens if I get stopped out. But let's go to the main account there and go trading there, see what we can do with this ETHU as it comes back to us. And definitely looking here to see if it starts to bounce, but not looking good at all. Should have taken that morning profit, man. It's a tough one, man. It's one of those that I'll look back on and be like, I don't mind adding here, but the problem is I was up big and should have had some profit, right? And so that's the hard part about adding here. Need to see it start to come back towards the 760s. So that's what I'll do. I'll add, but only if it starts to come back towards 760s. I'll add back towards 762 on the upside. If not, I'll let it go back towards 750. Don't want to see this break to 750. All right, gonna go looking around. I'm a little frustrated, man, because I'm missing trades here, and that's what it is sometimes. Mobileye, really nice trade there off the 17, pulled back to the 17 right there on the 1710s. Looks really good here. It's one of those names where I'm just struggling to get the trade and get in on that action. Bitcoin starting to pull back on some of those. QSI opens up there now towards 177. Did do a wicked pullback to 154. So if you got stopped out on that, that sucks. I think it's back in a halt there. QSI, that's definitely a halter, moving back and forth. QUBT moving back and forth, came back all the way to the VWAP, now right back up there. IonQ is one to watch because of this, and we'll look to see if we see the continued strength there in IonQ. Seeing some warrants on CleanSpark get the nice little push there. SPAI got up there to the 321s, rejection on that move. All right, looking around out there, guys, trying to make some trading action there. ETHU now going into the red there. Definitely a little frustrated there because QUBT should have been a nice money maker, and this ETHU should have taken some cash there earlier. Just a frustrating day to start it off there, and just not being sharp right now, guys. And that's one thing I'll tell you guys. I will let you guys know there. I will be sticking around till 10:30 today, and we'll have, of course, my man Tim jump in here to kind of take us towards the 11 o'clock hour. But smash the like, guys. I want to trade, and I want to trade fast. I want to trade active. Right now, I'm just stuck in ETHU. Should have taken that profit earlier, man. That's the big thing there. I'm getting stuck in it, and I'm just now watching it and not trading. And why? Because my money's getting put into this, and I'm just on the sideline now, just watching. Not the way I wanted to be right here, guys. So the Q's coming down fast there, and downside she goes. VIX jumping to 4770s. Big push there. Did not see much downside risk today. And boy, oh boy, is Despise telling me, well, there you guys have it. Now, we're showing you that downside today. I think a big part of this might be the NVIDIA takedown. I talked about how NVIDIA could get the takedown today, especially right before the bell, right? And then what happens? A pullback to this 144.40s. This is the area where I think you could get a little bit of some bouncing. We'll see what happens around the 144 level on NVIDIA, but definitely takedown on NVIDIA to start the day. We'll see if they're able to climb it back later in the day. So this 144.30s a very important spot there. We'll see if it goes through that 144 now and tests down and creates like kind of like a wick effect back. All right, guys, this got stopped out there in ETHU, and that's exactly why you take the profits when given there in the pre-market. Got a little greedy, looked for the $8. It got up there to 784s, got greedy, didn't take the cash, and because of that, took the hit. Now down 175, which isn't anything on the hit side, but just not trading it right, guys. Not trading it right, not executing. And I'm always going to call myself out on it, guys. I will tell you guys when I'm doing well and when I'm doing bad. And right here, it was such a nice trade. Just not executing right now, guys. A little upset, just a tiny bit. You can see it. It's a frustrating one today, guys. That's for sure. We'll see what else is out there, but I'm going to just look for some more opportunities, but miss some opportunities out the gates here. And it doesn't mean that ETHU is done. That's the worst part, right? It doesn't mean that it's done. It just means that it came back to the 750s, and I don't want to be in it for the breakdown there. And now it could start to climb back. And it did not catch that 200 moving average. I was hoping it maybe would, but this morning should have took the cash and run. Then I could have got back in here at the 750s, feeling a lot better because I have what? A cushion in the account. Just a frustrating one there, guys. GOEV taking a little bit of a lift there. So seeing a little bit of a move here in Canoe. Of course, this is an auto manufacturer getting a little bit of a push. Look to see if some other names start to get a push there. This is the one that I'm seeing move right now. QUBT kind of failed up there at the top. Q's just weak out the gates, guys. So down she goes. Amazon, Google's down. Apple's down. I mean, Apple's the only one that's kind of like on the pullback, could still push back towards the upside, but definitely not looking good here. Google down to 178. So it just seems like they just came after NVIDIA right out the gates. SLXN, which I was trading earlier in the day, was looking to see if this one would recover the 50-cent spot. This one I feel like could go to like 75 cents. It's trying to hold here this morning, trying to hold the VWAP, just not big breakout there. RCAT holding the $6 pullback, could go back to that 650s. It's nothing that I'm looking at right now. I wasn't watching this one, but it did show up on the scanner. MSTX pulled back there, now starting to get the lift again. So do I go back to Ethereum? Man, it's going to be, it's a frustrating day for sure, guys. This Ethereum, I should go back into this trade. That's the hard part. Should have broke even, got out, got back in. Should have not lost some money on that. Should have got out at the 57, got back in at the 57. The only question is, do I get back into the trade? The trade's there. I just got to determine if I want to come after it here. The Q's trying to start to pop back there. BTCT pulled back to the 19th spot. Now could get going to the 20 spot and above. That's one that I'm just watching as it starts to pull back to give me a little bit of some sign in the Bitcoin names. We'll see what happens there. TVGN now getting a little bit of a lift there. One that I was watching this morning. It is trying to get a little bit of a push here. Has an interesting chart on the 15-minute. You did kind of do this kind of red to green look. As long as it can hold now this low to the left. The low to the left on that is 161. So I wouldn't want to see TVGN break that 161 now and look for a push towards 170s and then $2 run is what I could see there on TVGN. All right, let's go to the limited account. This is kind of more of that limited account type of stock there. Taking a look to see if any of these names really start to push there. IonQ getting a little bit of a lift there. And I talked about how that one could push because of QUBT. And QUBT coming right back for the 327s, could push to the 350 and above. This is one that I want to trade, man, but I should have been trading down at 3. It's hard to trade it now because if I take the loss here, it's going to be a very frustrating loss. But the setup's still there, right? The setup is right here. It's a nice little trend line right there. You can see the pullback on this right here, how it's kind of holding that. I'd like to let it touch here 320s and then go for the rip, but it could just break out through this 330s, hit 350s in a hurry. We'll see what happens there in QUBT. Good name. Could have been watching this for the 3 break. Could have got that 3 break even and still made a nice trade on this one. QUBT, not looking too bad. ETHU now starting to come back toward the upside. I kind of have to go for it, man. It's hard for me to avoid this name. It just looks so prime on the hourly. Just needs to start to push, but it's all also on Ethereum itself, right? If I take a look at Ethereum's pricing and I'm watching it, it's starting to get a push this morning and now has pulled back. I'm looking around to see what else is making moves out there. All right, looking around, trying to see the active price here in Ethereum right now. You can see we had a kind of little bottoming around the 930s and 940s, and now we're starting to come back, and it could start take the lift again. So I'm going to take the shot here, guys. All right, guys, I'm back in Ethereum here, trying to get the shot back here. We'll see what happens. This time I stepped up to the plate. We'll see what happens if I'm able to bounce back in ETHU. Let's go back to the limited account, see how that's doing. Did I get cut out there on this ETH? No, I did not get cut out on the ETH. So let's go ahead. Let's add and stick to a really close risk now. All right, taking that really close approach here, adding to there. So now I got to go ahead and just get really close on the risk. So hard to get the chart up correct here. All right, risking about 80 bucks now, looking for this to start coming right back to the upside, and then we can start to take a look to see if it makes a little run. Back through, let's say like 30, I could add on this and just hold the rest break even, but it really needs to get moving. All right, not looking too bad on that, but we'll just go looking around now and take a look at some different stocks out there. I do want to start pointing towards different names. Mobileye jumped off that 17, even came down to the 1680s. Really nice trade there if you guys were able to nail that. Clean Spark back to 1450s. Will it take 15s now? We'll take a look for it. BTCT, it tried to go back above the 20s multiple times. It needs to recover 20 if it really wants to move today. If not, it could just be a fade. It could easily just be a fade, guys. Looking around to see what other names are making a move here now. RCAT back towards the 650s and pushing strong. So RCAT, really good move there. Taking a look to see what else is moving in the market here. Go to my scanner here, see if there's anything that's showing up. All right, big stocks moving today. RCAT, KC, BTDR, the BitDeer ripping, guys. This is another one that's a Bitcoin name that's pushing strong today, guys. Holding the 9 EMA, pushing up there to 1350s. These are names that I cannot miss, guys. Today's one of those days where I'm stuck in one name, but should be trading 4 or 5 names. And the gas pedal should be pressed and making money. Instead, I'm on the sideline right now, just sticking to one name. I think that that's where I'm doing it wrong today, guys. Sometimes I'm going to tell you guys I'm doing it right. Today, I'm doing it wrong. Not the way that I would want to do it if I could, right? And I'm always going to tell you guys when I'm doing it right and when I'm doing it wrong. Here, not the right way. All right, let's keep going. What's up out there, Diggs? How you doing? Bought QUBT at 276 this morning, but only 30 shares, little profit. Steph, the same area I had the alert on that you saw where I should have taken it, and I would have taken 1,000 shares. Made $600 today and pushed it on the limited account. But just how it goes sometimes, man. Just how it goes. And definitely that alert hit there, and that was one that I should have grabbed, man. That alert, I'll look back and be like, ooh, that's a tough one to miss there, right? So we'll see what happens with it, guys. Definitely taking a look to see what other ones are starting to kind of make the move here. But definitely got in the wrong one there, guys. It's just not moving there, and I'm missing names that are making nice moves. AAOI, another smaller kind of $30 name, mid cap name, doing well today. Looking around, Unity Software, big push there. So growth names getting a nice little push there. Looking around to see what else is making a move today. IonQ, of course, I talked about how that one's making a move and how it's getting some support. Cypher Mining, CIFR coming back 675s, just took the 685s, now could take 7 and start to push. This is not a bad looking one right here. Let's see if it can take the 7, recover 7, and make a little bit of a lift there. Daily chart, nice little 9 EMA, trying to recover that 7 and push back here. We'll see if we get another kind of run here in some of these Bitcoin names. BitDeer, though, holding well, man. 1360s on that thing, and it's been a big breakout. BTCT, will this get hot back and go towards 20? SPAI just holding out on the 3 spot there. C3AI pulled back to that 3150 area that we talked about in the pre-market, right to the key, right off 2 pennies there. So trying to recover is this AI, and I think a lot of this is going to have to do with more the Qs. If the Qs can recover, then yeah, these could come back. The Qs have been really weak here out the gates. Also, of course, the SPY overall. I mean, everything is in the red except energy today. XOM finally getting the breakout that I've been looking for. So we'll see what happens with this one. Nice breakout there in XOM. Really needs to get back towards 122 for more of that continued press on oil, but an interesting one to watch there. Healthcare bouncing back today. Talked about how Eli Lilly could get a little bounce back with the good news that they had, and they're bouncing, but will this bounce be short-lived? All things to think about. FBRX, another one to watch a little bit later. This one made a huge run earlier and now has pulled back. Tried multiple times to break 10. So if it breaks 10 again on the fourth try, that's what I would be watching, right? So you can see here how you pulled back and you have this kind of sideways rectangle pattern, right? You can see it right there on FBRX. If it can't get back through that 10 on the next try, it's probably going to break down through 9. But it's something to watch for it, especially as it approaches back there towards the 10. FBRX. All right, Ethereum trying to get the move there, but not getting the move there. And this is one of those where I can tell you guys, it's just sideways now, not really getting the move. And I should be trading with the momentum, not necessarily trying to catch the move there. So that's where it gets a little frustrating. Definitely getting some pullback on the action out there. RCAT got the 650s now starting to pull back. So taking a look at the action out there, KC, Kingsoft Cloud Holdings with a big push today. One of the strongest names in the market. QUBT now starting to pull back there. Tried to make the breakout there. You can see it right here on the 340s. Now pulling back to the 320s. Could pull back right back to the Q, right back to the 3. DQ with a big push there. Technology stock getting a nice little push. Semiconductor equipment stock. MSTR, big push today. Got to 490s. ETHU now coming right back down, guys. This is just not the way to trade today, guys. I'm just not doing it right, guys. I'm trading a name based on the chart, and it's not a bad hourly chart, but the truth is it's gone nowhere, and I'm trying to trade it here. It needs to start making a move really quickly. If not, just got to get out and just take the strike, right? Sometimes you're going to have to take the strike and admit when you're wrong. XCUR now starting to get a little lift there. Of course, this is one that has had a move earlier, made the push there towards 850s, now pulled back here towards the 750s. We'll look to see if it makes its way back through 8. Going to the scanner there, trying to see if there's any other name that I'm missing. And there's that FBRX. FBRX, there it goes, guys. FBRX. There she's going. There she's ripping here. Oh, man, I already missed it there. I can't even get it now. It's a little bit too far from the move, and it's in the halt, and there she goes. Oh, man, today's one of those days, guys. It's just, I see it. I look off for a second. Boom, 1080s. There she goes, FBRX through the 10 into a halt on the upside. It's just one of those days, guys. It's just one of those days, man. Oh, good Lord. Oh, man, I'm a little frustrated today, as you guys can tell. I'm missing moves, then catching some other ones that I should not be in. But that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. FBRX, big push there. TVGN now starting to get a little bit of a push there. Keeping an eye on it. It really hasn't pushed above the 175, a big important level. It went right to it and stopped there. So I think you got to watch to see if it breaks that 175 now and really wants to go to 2. If not, it could just be a rejection here, right back to 150, 130s. Who knows? Maybe at $1 by the end of the day. That's a little frustrating one on FBRX. QSI, I know, was one that was halting earlier. Now it's on the down halt here. So difficult name for sure. Good morning, folks. Awesome day yesterday, 1924. What, you talking about the, what, flash crash or something? What's up, Future? All right, looking around out there. QUBT trying to hold on there, trying to hold on. Let's go to the Qs here. The Qs still dropping, guys. The weakness in the market still out there. The VXX dropping, the SPY dropping. Weakness all around out there, and a lot of it in NVIDIA. And there she goes, man. There she goes. Talked about how NVIDIA could pull back out the gates. That should have been a trade too, man. I'm getting a nice little, like, plan together Where I'm getting it wrong is I'm just going into one position versus multiple positions, but it's very difficult to manage that too, because then I get stuck on my positions and not focus too much on the market, right? So, 1924 up. Well, future, you can take that. You can take that. All right, guys. On my new eval account, went for my goal, paid for a $260,000 account. Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. You got the extra buying power one. So wish you the best of luck, my friend. Get that money, man. 1924 is perfect. Remember that the max you can get on that account, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about the extra buying power, is around 2,300. That's 30% of the max profit, right? So you got to know that, so you don't get it a little bit higher above that, right? Get 10% off from Trader TV Live. Yeah, get that 10% off, guys. New to trading here. Christian bringing up some conversation. New to trading. Bought 6 shares of NVIDIA. Should I sell it or leave it alone? Well, Christian, I can't tell you that. Unfortunately, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice, but I can just tell you it's all to you to determine what your risk and return is going to be like. How much risk and pain are you willing to go through on the trade to tell you that you're wrong? That's very important to know. All right, guys, not seeing it today, guys. Down she goes, and the VIX just shooting, guys, and that could have been a trade itself. You guys know I love to trade the VIX. Today, I'm not even looking at the VIX, and it's up there to 48. It's up $1.26. So, hey, just not sharp today, guys. Not sharp, and I don't know what's going on, but I need to get focused, and you guys know me. I'm not that type of trader where I'm not focused, so gotta get back to it, man. Just it's how it goes in trading a lot of the times. When you're doing really well, you all of a sudden go into a little bit of a rut. And what do I need to do? I need to hit the brake pedal here and be careful, right? Just that's what's important too. It's just being careful on a day like today. All right, we'll see if we get some kind of move here. If not, I'm just going to get out on this ETHU. I'm not going to risk much on this now. It should have got going already at this point. So I'm just going to put a risk here. Down towards like where the body is, which is about $80. If it comes back and gets me at 56 and then makes the move, so be it. At this point, I need to determine my stop and just go trading. All right, moving over to this ETH here, and same thing for this one. It should have already made the move. If it's going to make the move, it's now. If not, I'm going to get out. There you go, setting risk and tightening up on the risk here. We'll see what happens if we start to get that continuation. FBRX, did that reopen yet? No, that has not reopened. There it is, guys. 1122s, 1120s, $12, and boom, into another halt goes FBRX. And you guys know that I'm a little frustrated on this one. Another one that I had it right pegged correctly, looking for the break of 10, just not getting in, and now it's at $12. Oh, man. I gotta get sharper on these. Gotta get sharper. Best to you, future day trader. Yes, best to you guys. MACD crossover upside at the 200 EMA. We'll see what happens on that one, Jim. 30% of the 260 eval account is 3,060, made 1925, lost to 150 on the first day. Yeah, which one do you have? Did you grab the ultimate one? Just want to take a look, which one you're going for. Just want to make sure, hey, that's the fun part there, man. We got some great ones out there, and definitely tune in, guys. Oh, I like the welcome back look there. All right, so let's take a look here. Which one do you have, my friend? Rule the pool, baby. Oh, you got the ultimate. Yeah, you went for the big boy. You went for the big boy. Profit split 80%. I've thought about going for that one, future, but I want to nail the extra first. I feel like the extra is already tough. And you guys know I've been going at that one. That's the main account there. I had the money, and I determined to go for maybe 2 of the extra buying powers versus going for the ultimate. But I can't blame you. That's 1250 for that eval, and that's our top eval. That's the most money we can give you guys. So definitely look into that, guys. The max total drawdown on that one is 6,000. So it really gives you the ability to size up, but you need to know how to deal with the sizing, and that's going to be important. ETHU coming back and just stopping me out, guys. So just not the way to do things today. I'm not trading well, guys, so I'm done for the day, at least trading on these trades, because the truth is I'm not seeing it right today. And I'm seeing it really good on some names and just stuck in some other names. So that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. Expecting to get stopped out on this ETH also. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm just leaving it alone, not touching it. Already took the trade. Sometimes it's a risk that I already took, and I have to go ahead and just stay with it. QUBT looking good on that $3 pullback, now coming right back towards the 316. But the Qs need to change tunes, and the market just keeps falling and falling here. And that's where you're seeing the destruction in technology, in defensive names, real estate getting a nice little push. So now I start to take a look at what bounces here and what's starting to bounce. So it's utilities starting to bounce a little bit, healthcare bouncing, technology bouncing a little bit, but you can see it's very short-lived. It's coming right back down. If there's one name that I see a little bit stronger than others, it's XOM, and it's the oil name. So Gush looking good here today, and different oil names like that doing pretty well. Talked about how oil could start making a lift there. And Future, you know all about that. And Wisdom, where's Wisdom out there? So definitely Chevron catching that 160. Oil looking good here this morning. Let's see what other ones are making a move right back towards the upside. Some real estate making a push, but that's not much that I'm looking at there. If you're looking at one there, like American Tower, those are doing well there. I'm just looking around to see what's doing well. All right, guys. We'll see what else is out there, but definitely smash the like, guys. We got a lot more to take a look at, guys, and take a look into the competition. If you guys haven't heard already, guys, we got a competition coming right now, December 2nd to December 6th. And it's that extra buying power. You get that nice little 200,000. So take a look at that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and throw it up here. I'm pretty sure they already kind of announced it there on Trader TV. But let me just go ahead and throw up the link here for you guys. If you haven't signed up for the competition already, sign up for the Rule the Pool competition, guys. What's the average profit to get to the top 10? Big Dave, great question there. I'm going to take a look into the prior trading results. I can take a look to be exact there. Just give me a second. Let me see what I can find here just on our website right now. So just give me a quick second here. Let me see if I can find the action there. Not finding it right now. Did want to find the prior competition account though, but not seeing the amount right now. But what I'll look into it, it was big, man. We're talking 80,000. It was a crazy one, but I need to look into it, Big Dave. This is a very good question that I will go ahead and I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about what it really takes to get to the top 10. Let's talk about that, Big Dave. It's a great question. Appreciate you mentioning it. Stick around, Big Dave. Tomorrow, I'll take a deep dive on this. I'm going to go and get the data from Michael, of course. I'll ask our CEO to get that data for us and go ahead and kind of present that for you guys. So smash the like. We got a lot more for you guys. And hit that competition link and go ahead and sign up. It's absolutely free. You want to go ahead and do so right now so you don't forget it. And there she goes, ETH, another hit there. It's a frustrating day for me, guys. Definitely. FBRX, really nice move there to 1210. That thing could keep going, man. This thing is just ripping. And this thing has made insane moves before. These are those types of names that the gurus and the furus are trading. That's why I was watching this one. I could see the action that it was having near that 10, and it faded off that 10 multiple times. Talked about the fourth time. Would it go through and just flush? And it flushed that level, that liquidity level, and really pushed. Shout out to my man Scott. Scott, we're still out there. Big liquidity level there. I know Steve would have called that one out too. Interesting levels on FBRX. Big push. SPAI still hanging out at this 309. Still could make a little push here. This one's just hanging out here. Just needs volume. It's a nice looking pattern. Just for some reason, it's not getting the volume that it needs. So now it's starting to push here. Can it get the lift there? Can it push above this 3? Yeah, it could. I mean, yesterday this one was pushing, and it does have a nice looking chart as it starts to climb back here. The question is, will it get towards the 4 today? I mean, it's having a nice day 2 move. Let's see if it pushes. SPAI, will it get the moves there? We'll see it. We'll see it. Doesn't look bad, like a scalping type of play here. So let's go main account. I want to keep trading, guys. And you guys know it. You guys know how I am. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Shouldn't break this down 3. Should break out on the 4th attempt there. 1, 2, 3. 4th attempt at that 321 for the breakout. If it can break there, how much is the flagging pattern? About 86 cents. So maybe we can get a breakout there towards closer towards 4. Doesn't look bad here. Just needs to kind of hold and find some buying. So the volume is the reason why this one's not really taking off. There's a nice little amount of volume there. Needs to get an increase here through the break, and then it could really start to rock and roll. All right, looking around out there to see what other ones are making a move here. SPAI, where's the sizing? Where's the volume that's trying to get in there? The wall is 325 on this one. All right, guys, let's see what happens with this one. Already starting to get hot here. 319 could start to take off here. Could pull back to the 315 spot. I'm going to take a shot here. I'm long a little bit, 1,000 shares there. Let's see if SPAI can really get going here. It was a nice looking chart there. Just needed to continue to make a rip there. Nice little first effect there towards the 330s here. We'll look for this one to really kind of start pushing here, and looks at that push there. Now 338, it's looking pretty decent here as it starts to push. Maybe I can make my money back on this one, and then we get back our mentality, right? So on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put break even right now as this one's breaking towards the upside breakout. I don't need to be taking the cash right here. I'm looking for another little break into the 350s here and take the cash there. Ooh, right above it. It's right above it. Let's go. Let's go. Break that 350. Looking for the break of this 350 here. Let's see if we can get it there. Ah, it was so close, guys. So close to breaking that 350. Let's go. Break that 350. All right, guys. That's a nice break towards the 350s. Now I'm securing here in a second 250. If it could break 350s and keep climbing there. The 350s being a wall at 350s here. Doesn't want to take the 350s just yet here, guys. It's trying to reload on that. That's where it gets a little dangerous. Can this one break through the 350s here? Slowing down a little bit. Just back and forth on the 350 breakout here. I'm looking to see if it can break through that 350s, because that's a big breakout spot there on the 350s. Come on, break it. Here's that attempt for the 350 break. Not getting it, guys. Not getting it. Here's 350s. What am I down? 280s. All right, just secured 250 here. boom, just got hit, guys, on that pullback. And it could keep going, guys, but I just had to take some of the cash off there. And this could keep breaking out. I just wanted to at least bounce back on the account there. Bounce back down 35 now, and I'm just going to take a second. Just take a second, because the number one thing that I could do right here is just go right back into the 350s there. And next thing you know, I ruined it and I just start losing, right? So right there, bounce back, SPAI on the main account. Now can go looking and can trade off of this, right? So we'll see what happens. The pullback could be back towards 325 and kind of a reload there. Of course, this one could just keep ripping towards that 350s. So I'm just keeping the watch on there. But it got to a point where if I wasn't red, deep red, yeah, maybe I just take the keep it going here on the 350s, right? So let's see if it breaks the 350s. Could run towards 370s. That's kind of like the level that I could see. Ran right into the 360s and hit a seller there, big seller as that push there, and then it took some of the cash. Now it could keep going off of that 350s. We'll look to see what happens. SPAI. XCUR also making a little bit of a move, attempt back towards 8. This one not looking too bad. Could push back through the 8s. The Qs overall just keep dropping, man. And I'm glad I'm trading some of these small caps, but not glad that I'm not trading the VXX, guys. At this point, I should be trading the VXX. It is super extended up there away from the VWAP. I'm almost thinking about shorting this, man. It is a big move on the VIX today. And I should have already been kind of in this towards the upside. If anything, making a nice $1,000, $2,000 today. Just not doing it right. Not doing it right today out the open. That's one thing I can definitely say. Today, I did not trade the best out the open. Should have cashed ETHU. Should have been working on different names. Didn't work out on ETHU. It happens, my friend. I think this is more to do with just the way things are sometimes, right? And it doesn't mean that ETHU is done, because it's still holding the 750 in the hourly chart. Sometimes the hourly chart can fool you in the intraday, and next thing you know, this hourly could go green, right? It opened at 759. We need to see what happens there at 11. Does it go back through into green before 11? That's what I'd be watching on ETHU. SPAI did go and then tried to reload on that 340. So we got a reload test back to the 9 EMA. This is usually where you get the buyers that come right back in. Right off this kind of 9 EMA attempt. Here's SPAI coming back down towards that 338. We'll look to see if it comes right back up here. Might take a shot here, guys, after it's the 9 EMA attempt. So this is a 9 EMA kind of strategy. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. That's that move right there. Now could start to take off here. Let's see if it double bottoms here on the 35s. Makes an attempt to catch some more volume there. There's catching some more volume. Now look for that recovery. There's that recovery trying to come back through the 40s. Recovery trying to come back through that 40s. Not getting it, though. The big size went through there, though. Definitely you saw some bigger buys there. Even like a 44,000 share buy there. Getting some stop outs right now. We'll see if it comes back through the 340s and then makes another breakout. Could still come back down to the $3 too. If it does come back down there, I probably wouldn't want to play it again. There's a pullback there. It should have already kind of gotten that juice right back. So doesn't look that great anymore. Target though, down, down, down she goes. Continuing down his target today. FBRX, of course, we saw that one go to 12. It went all the way to 15. What a crazy move on that one, guys. We saw it from 10. It went all the way up there to 1471. So 4 points now on the down halt. That's where you got to be careful. After 3 halts, a lot of times we get a down halt. 1, 2, 3 halts. Now a down halt on the downside there. XCUR just broke through the 8. There's a nice little pump there from 8 to 880. So big breakout there in XCUR off the 8s. Could keep going through the 890s, 90s, but the problem is now you're far away from the pullback level. So that's the hard part here with XCUR. There's that pullback all the way back down for SPAI. So happy I took the cash there. Now I got to see what happens if it bounces off this 320. How's Mobileye doing there? It's pulled back to the 17. The Qs is the problem here. The Qs still really, really weak, guys. All right, VIX starting to turn around a little bit there. Can we get some downside here now? I'm going to maybe try to go for a little quick short here. Oof. It's already off the highs a little bit too much for me. So it's been up there 1, 2, up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Could still make an attempt to break out above this level. So I'm looking for one more attempt back up here and then the crack. And it could come after that 50, right? It just seems to me like this wants 50. Let's see what happens in the Qs. Qs trying to bounce a little bit there. SPAI already back down to 311s here on the VWAP. Needs to hold that VWAP and then push right back to the upside. I'm looking at some other ones. RCAT, I was earlier trying to make a move off of the 6, now coming back towards that 627s. So we're seeing a lot of these small cap names get a nice little push today. What a day, guys. Back and forth, right? NVIDIA continuously more moves south. And where at least I got a nice little warning out there for NVIDIA, because I was thinking that, yeah, yesterday was the day that it could run, right? It was an easy day to make it run. Now today was an easy day to make it get hit. And the big thing is that people see NVIDIA's earnings today and they think, oh, NVIDIA has earnings today. I need to grab NVIDIA today. No, that's not the way it works sometimes, guys. Things like to run into the earnings and then turn around a lot of the times. Big nasty hit in AVGO. A lot of these names, just ugly day there for tech. We'll see if it bounces, but it doesn't look good today for tech at all. Q's another leg down there. The VXX probably going to go for that 50 here. And man, what a miss today on the VXX. That right there can make you an insane amount. So 30% for the ultimate account. Yeah, that VXX would have been a nice one. Would you go long on SMCX at the 26 level? Well, I can't tell you specifically that level, but I can tell you right now. Let me take a look there. You're looking at SMCI or SMCX. So for me, SMCI or SMCX was a yesterday play, not necessarily a today play. Why? Because the gap could get filled. So the gap is one thing that it's testing here. So 25s could come back into play today, and then it could take the next step up there. It just seems to me like it's too much of a gap play. It's called an island when the stock comes up here like this. And I think you could easily get at least some gap fill. It doesn't mean that it's coming all the way down into that gap, but it makes sense for it to come back here and then take the next move. And it could be a gap up on the next one, which is very tough to hold on. VXX already back up there, trying to make the move there. I'm looking at it. It made one more attempt to the upside, then cracked here. So I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to take a shot here, guys, because that should have been broken. That should have broken out there, guys. So I'm taking a shot on the downside a little bit here. Got to keep it really close. Want to see if the Qs can start to come back to the VWAP. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the Qs to get back like above 504, but can it come back to 500? That's what I'm trying to play here, essentially. I could also play the Qs back. I could also play maybe like TQQQ. There's other plays that I can play. I'm just taking the VIX short here. VXX. So pretty much saying that the Qs are going to bounce, the SPY bounce, and that the VIX is coming down. So we'll see what happens there. Multiple attempts to try to break that 49.82s. Got to be careful for that recovery of the 9 EMA. So that 9 EMA is important to me now. That light blue line there, I'm looking for rejections on that, showing me down action, and that could be the sign to add. All right, nice little first action there. I just added there on this. Now I'm up 185, 285 here. In a second here, I'm going to be break even. All right, break even now. I can't lose on this position. Just looking for a little bit more expansion down here. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a hit down towards like even 48.80s, 48.60s. That's a really nice gain there. So orders out there now to take the profits towards 48.78, 48.80s here. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a push here. Stop loss right there set at 49.32s. Why is it set at the break even? Because I need to make sure that I take the cash here. There it goes for the break. Can we get to the 48.60s, 48.70s? That's where I could see it going in a quick manner here. There's the 49s going for the breakdown here. Come on, break that 49. Let's get to the VWAP. I'm looking for like making like 500, 600 on this and at least just bouncing back on the day. Here comes that 49 break, guys. I'm throwing out the profit target here. There's 49.80s. Now we're looking good here, guys. Let's see if we can break this here. Back through 49, and I'm going to take the money and run, but I'm looking for an expansion here. Slowing down a little bit there. There's a nice little ramp up here. Now dropping to 300 here. Looking to take the 580s here. 560s. Ooh, and it pulls right off, guys. Right off. 340s. Let's see if we can get another move down there. I've already guaranteed 340s here, but I'm looking for a little bit more. It was really close to hitting 580s there. So I pulled it off just for a second here. Let's see if we can get another hit down here. Let's see if we can get another hit down here, maybe to the 50. Good action on that first break. Can we get the next little move here? All right, now it's coming back a little bit there. So it just dropped there a little bit there towards the profit target of 720 if it breaks towards the 60s, but not wanting to break the 70 level right now. That 75, the Bollinger Band right there. All right, guys, now set up to take profit. 400 is the minimum I'll take here, guys. So not a bad little setup here. Looking for a little bit continuation, but if it comes and gets me, hey, I'll take the 400. Does it want to continue? And the Q's coming back with that, right? A little bit, not as much, not as much. Thought they could get to 500 there. So just to kind of state that, right? All right, coming down a little bit here, securing a little bit more here. Now secured 530s here. Might hit me here. Just secured 530s. It's about to hit me. Take the cash and run, guys. 475 getting me out there. Taking the cash, guys. It could bounce there. I just traded that on a little quick trade there, guys. Bouncing back on the day. 434 in the main account. When I was down, right? This was a tough one today, guys. So definitely want to show you guys here the filled orders and how you can bounce back on a day, right? Well, here you guys have it. It was trading it the wrong way, trading different names. Was able to bounce back in 2 names there, and not only bounce back, but get deep into the green. That's a lot about risk to return, right? So that's what's important here. Lost 60 earlier, lost 95, lost 90. But when I start winning, I want to what? I want to make 2 or 3 times that amount. SPAI, about 2.5, 2.45 on that amount. And then on the VIX, there we made our money, 475. That's what? That's almost 5 times the amount. That's an important one. So not a bad one there. Not a bad trade at all. What happened to Wisdom? Yeah, I think Wisdom's been working. And I heard that he was a little bit sick. So I hope Wisdom is doing well health-wise. I always wish well to everyone here, really, at the end of the day. But Wisdom, sticks around often, talks often in the chat. I love those guys that really kind of communicate with me and kind of keep that engagement up, because the truth is, hey, we have fun together talking about trades, trying to help each other find the next one. Waiting on Reddit. Okay, not a bad one to think about. There's the VXX right back up. So glad I took the cash, right? Sometimes you just got to take the money and run. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. But guess what? I won't leave you guys alone. I will have Tim here to join in the show. So Tim joining in here. He'll be getting his charts ready here, guys. But definitely smash the like, guys, and check out the trading competition. Of course, guys,
check it out.
I threw up that link already there, and go ahead and sign up. I'm going to throw it up one more time so you can just click this and go and learn all about the competition, right? Like always, guys, we're going to keep talking about it. It doesn't start to December 2nd, but you want to be already signed up. And what I would recommend for our newer traders that haven't traded before on Trade the Pool, get that Rule the Pool account, but then go and get a demo account and start trading, start learning the platform, not waiting until December 2nd to tell me, well, how does the platform work? No, we want to know that already. And to help you guys out, we did something special for you guys. Tim and I and Michael did hard work on some education you can find on our YouTube now that will give you a nice playlist on the platform. So check that out. That's on our YouTube right here. You don't got to go anywhere. Just go to the YouTube, guys. Check out on Trade the Pool. It will teach you a lot about the platform, orders, charts, all different types of things to learn from. Go check that out, that playlist. I'm going to go ahead and hop. I'll let Tim take over here. He'll wrap up the show with you guys. I'm going to probably wrap up the day, guys. It's been a good day for me, at least. Was able to bounce back after a frustrating open. Not being focused on execution and being in the zone is so costly. And today, it cost me on what? More opportunity costs, being stuck on one name and not trading others, right? That's what we call opportunity costs. And that's exactly what happened today. All right, Tim, I'll let you take over, take the reins, and have a good show, my friend. Take care.
Thanks. You too. All right, everyone. All right. Got the Zoom on now. Yes, Trade the Pool has been on iOS since, let's see, Emiola. I am not Mitch, but Trade the Pool has been on iOS since, I believe, the very, very start, but certainly as long as I've been going here. So you should be able to find that in the Apple Store. And there's also a link when you go to use your, when you go to get your trading credentials, there should be a link right there. So give that a try. The other thing you can do is if you use the web trading client, that is just web.tradethepool.com, then you can actually use that on a mobile device as well. So that is another option. Hey, future day trader billionaire, how is it going this morning? So bear with me a second. I can see that I still have a little bit of processor usage going on here, a little bit of lag. So I'm going to just try to quickly close one or two other things that might be running and just make sure I get rid of the last bit of extra CPU usage here. So, all right. That seems to have helped a bit. We'll go with that. So I want to go ahead and just start sharing some screens. Now, what I am doing actually is I'm just actually wrapping my watch list up. It's been a busy morning. Actually, we're recording some new videos. Michael, if you're watching this, I know you're very excited about this. So I'm excited about what we have upcoming. And what Mitch said as well, the education, by the way, we have some additional educational programs coming up. So that's under wraps right now. But the next series and the one after that, this is a whole thing. And in the Discord as well, we're doing an effort just to, if you're new, I encourage you to check it out. But we are working on some things there to make that more approachable and help you find those resources that we have. So let's see if I can't share the screen now that it's lagging a little bit less. And we'll kind of dive in. I'll finish that watch list, and then, yeah, we'll take a look at some charts and whatever else we want to do. All right. Am I narrow enough to fit in? To so yeah, folks, one thing, if you are signing up for the competition as well, I do want to mention that you'll want to use the you'll get into the hub, right? And from there you want to select new contest account. So that'll be the thing to do there. You'll just be the normal account creation. There's no cost or anything like that. So anyway, let me do this real quick. This is sort of my normal morning routine. I've showed a few of you folks this, but we'll just finish this up. So basically what I do, I have a newsletter that I subscribe to. I'm not going to show the whole thing just because, you know, it is a paid service, so I don't want to infringe on that. But basically what I do here, they send me the advancers and decliners within the sector. So this is a biofarm, biofarm catalyst. And what I just do here, first of all, this is just my personal routine, is I will go through and plug, oh, we got like 2 classes of shares. Interesting. Is I go ahead and plug in the tickers that had advances and decliners. And then I will go to the ones that have actual news. And then I've got a thing down there below for things that have just sort of pipeline updates or things that are expected in the background that are coming there. So this is a great way to do this. If you do happen to use TradingView, keep this in mind, because you'll want to, and what I'm going to do here real quick is just put US stocks only. That'll just keep that a little bit simpler. Does TTP do options now? No, no options on TTP, but we do have a regular discussion program on TTP for derivatives traders. I actually lead that one personally, just because that's my own background. And there are some challenges if you're coming in. You know, obviously you're familiar with equities, or if you do futures options, you're, you know, familiar with the indices. And with me, I still have some alerts going off. And so, you know, you're familiar with the way they move, but it is a little bit different trading the underlying directly, at least for me, sort of recognizing the momentum. And also, you know, if you're coming from a smaller retail account, then there's also some things that you can do, like, you know, you don't necessarily have to do the same strategies, and you're not making the same choices of buy or, you know, hold or sell all or like half of your portfolio at once. We get a lot more granularity with the trade the pool thing. So that's a discussion that we have on our Discord periodically. We should be having another one hopefully this week, but it's a little bit busy getting ready for the competition and everything. So go ahead and you know, join the Discord if you're not, and keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I found that like the momentum is a little bit different. And you know, the sizing also. So I'm just going to plug this in here. So now let's see what we got on the news. And this is a pretty good service. If you like this sector, then I would say that they are pretty good for the newsletter and everything else you get. It is not cheap, but I do think it's worth it. And I've recommended this before to, you know, have some info sources that are just for the sector that you're interested in. And if you don't have any kind of sector, you know, even if you're just trading just the charts, not the news or whatever, it can be worth building up a little portfolio that you trade of, you know, a little sector that you focus on, or a little portfolio of names that you kind of know, because often I find that I can get a sense of the mood or the character of the market just by how those things that I am familiar with are behaving. So that can be something to do. And, you know, I always find also that the more I learn in one area, if I actually do get kind of detailed, then I have a better sense of what I am doing. It just, being well-rounded tends to help. So let's see if anything interesting is going on in these. I'm actually not looking at the chart yet. I'm looking for kind of the news. So TNXP posted what they say are good results. Man, I have shares of this one like in my personal thing from like way back in the day. So they've got good results. Let's see, Quantum SI and CYT had a little partnership. So I just use purple for sort of business news. Ordinarily, I'd read this a little bit deeper, but I'm kind of under the gun this morning playing catch up. So here's my abbreviated process. Let's see, they're doing that's a quasi medical thing. I mean, it's medical, but there's no results. So it's already tagged. It's fine. Let's see. Iridex, that's business related. We'll just put another purple on there. Blocks inflammasome activation and pyroptosis in the heart. I don't even know what that is. Anyone know what pyroptosis is? Anyway, prevents stroke-related cardiovascular energy. So that's pretty cool. Zyversa, we've seen that name before. They're down a little bit on good news. So that's one of those things that is paradoxical. Sometimes good news is bad news in pharma because it means you'll have to spend a bunch of money developing out what you're doing there. LCTX, that could be, they're doing an offering, but it is a direct offering 0.76. So it's down below the offering price. So I might watch out for that, look for a rebound there, but it'll depend entirely on the chart. So let's see, significant pain reduction over placebo after bunionectomy. Oh, good. That's cool. Something for the toes. Or bunion. Are bunions on the toes or they're the sides back of your feet? And a non-opioid treatment for sleep. Okay, that's good for fibromyalgia. I think that's the one they've been working on for a while. I'd have to look which of their compounds it is. And yeah, that cardiovascular thing for the heart. So that's pretty cool too. One thing I will do is, not take these at first glance, right? I will go ahead and look at the, honestly, I've seen even on StockTwits, sometimes there'll be some feedback saying, hey, this isn't significant or whatever. So this is just a sector that I had like a little bit of experience in from working in medical devices. And then it's just, you get that toehold of knowledge in, and then you can build on that. And then you have, before you know it, you have experience trading a sector. And then you also have your, I have this kind of thing that I check in on, that I'm familiar with sort of their moods and things. And that gives me a sense of the market. So I'm going to glance these over and ruminate, look at your questions and see. And let me know if I'm answering the question, not answering the question, etc. All right. Said I could join the contest at no cost. Yes, the contest is no cost. So when you go to the contest site, you'll be directed into the Trade the Pool hub. That's where you can see all of your trading accounts, your profile, like in terms of name, email address, all that kind of stuff. You go to new account, and there you'll have a few choices. There are the paid evaluations. You pass those, you'll be eligible for a funded trading account after review and interview. There will also be the free trial. That'll show up as a $2 million account that costs nothing and has a 0% profit split. So you can do that. For that, I recommend doing the day trading one just because that'll get you familiar with it. There's so much buying power on that, and it's a free trial anyway, that that'll get you familiar with the end-of-day liquidation process and the rules like that. That's just me personally, though. And one other choice you'll have is the contest account as well. And that one should also have no cost. All right, so let me see how these things are actually acting. I have not taken a single trade this morning. Number one, because I have been busy. And I've also learned, actually, that if I am trying to take trades when I'm not focused, right? And it's easy to mislead yourself. It's easy for me to mislead myself that I have availability, right? So if I'm having a conversation or trying to hold forth on a stream and find my mind wandering a little bit, that can be a clue. So anything you can do to get a check on yourself and realize, hey, am I distracted? Am I doing this with my full thing? And some days you can just go ahead and go for it and just put on some trays and some trailing stops. I had really good luck with that earlier this week, but today, honestly, like, I don't have a sense. I heard Mitch talking, and I don't have a real sense of the market either. Target, I had some interest in, holy moly, 30 points. 30 points on Target. Wow. Okay. Yeah. My hunch is there's some upside there. They always seem to go to 140, 141. I have no idea why, but whatever happened could break that trend. I saw the results get posted. It didn't catch my eye, but wow. All right, so we wanted to look at Tesla. Let's take a look. What is this? Oh, so if you are a TradingView fan, by the way, if you want, you can find me on, just close these. I hate these. Oh, alert volume. Very nice. All right. So yeah, if you like, you can see my own trading stream. Well, I'm on the Trade the Pool Discord as TTP Tim. You can find me on Rumble on the Crunchy Crayons channel, and I am VSync60 here on TradingView. So if you are a TradingView fan, then you want to keep an eye out for Black Friday. That is, in my humble opinion, the only time it is cost effective to even get TradingView. I'm going to be taking a look at FinViz, see if I want that. I mean, I like most of the charting in the Trade the Pool platform. I love the Mumu, a lot of its charting. The analysis, the sketching tools aren't great. I do love Interactive Brokers charting just because it has like no features. You can draw a line, and that's it. In fact, I'm going to start there. Let's start with the bare bones thing. But it's also fast because it's Java, but it's running native, so you're not dealing with web-based anything. But I am going to try out FinViz Elite also, see if that's worthwhile before I renew TradingView. But I suspect I'm going to end up doing that. All right, let's look at Tesla. In the meantime, Eli, can you share? You said 7 a.m. bad news. What was, while we look at Tesla initially, can you tell me what was the bad news on NIO? This might, I guess this probably ties into Tesla. Whatever's going on here, but. All right, now these are 10-second candles. I am not going to lie. I would even be tempted, like right here, to just try for a bottoming thing, just because it looks like a sort of ugly head and shoulders. But let's zoom out and get some context here. Depends on if it confirms here. All right. So yeah, so for me, I would not really do anything other than trying to scalp something here, see if it rips. It did catch right at this. See, I can't tell which way it's drawing this, but effectively 38 fib, and then it seems to be holding above the 50% equilibrium line. We'll have to see there. But yeah, other than if I'm looking to just scalp something right away off pure chart action, if I'm looking for levels, even for a longer intraday thing, I am going to look at the news. So let's take a look and see what's going on in Tesla. Drop on bad earnings despite revenue. Yeah, sometimes you'll see that, right? Like stocks are, so we were talking about momentum earlier, right? Talking about options, futures. I would say the thing that's the most forward-looking are options, regardless of what their options on. And then followed by futures, and after that followed by equities. But they are forward-looking, right? The price is baking in a lot of hope. And we also have these high, like just across the board, the Shiller PE ratio, right? By the way, again, check out our Discord. We do a group watch of a lecture series with Robert Shiller, a famous, I believe, economist, but he's a economics professor at Yale. And his lecture series is free on YouTube. So we work our way through that and discuss that. Yeah, so you see these things trading at a very high stock price relative to their earnings. And that's because they're just kind of baking in all this hope for the future, right? Sometimes you'll see it the other way where it's oversold or overshorted, but oftentimes, you'll see a sell-off, and it might even be people have run up, not even like manipulation, right? Sometimes it is, but it might not even be people manipulating it. It might be people buying it just to say, hey, like maybe these earnings are going to be great, and then it's like, all right, nothing to write home about, and then you say, all right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to free up capital for my next play, right? So there's all kinds of reasons that you might see that, and often you'll have those earnings, and then you might have like 3 days later, right? They often say it's a 3-day rule, right? 3-day move. So you might have 1, 2, 3 days. So I'm sure whatever this is from NVIDIA, we're going to see more of that. And in fact, you can see, look at this NIO rebounding here. So yeah, this to me just looks like, and it also looks like just a testing, right? It looks like it was testing the low. So again, I don't really love the fibs down in here, but I'll just use these real quick since we're looking this up. So if I go to the previous swing high, now this was in yesterday's pre-market, but you can draw it differently. But if I go down here, what does that line up with, right? So it says it's 150. Hold on, come on. There we go. If I drag this up, then we get, so it's not a 161, but look at that. It's a 150, And if I bet you, if I put this to the initial drop from that swing high, not even looking at the previous day, like, boom, what is that? It just overshoots the 161 extension to the downside of the previous day's initial move. And then it's off to the races. And now we're rebounding. So, yeah, so bad earnings despite revenue. There can be a lot of reasons for that too, because it really depends on. Do you know what was leading to their earnings being bad? Like what was eating into their gross revenue there? Okay, from late October, it's just respecting that line in general. Cool. Yeah, and you can just keep going out. You can go out on different time frames and keep doing that. Let me go back to Tesla here and see. So did Tesla have news of its own, or is it just, is it, as far as you can tell, purely off of the NIO news? So let me zoom out here as well. Right, so I'm going to go out to a 10-minute. Okay. And now we can see that this whole, this whole section here is much smaller. I betcha. And see, these are the choices I get. I can draw a line, I can put an arrow, or I can do fibs. And so it's dead simple. But once I got into fib channels, though, that's when I started appreciating TradingView, I have to say. Okay. So what do we have here, right? 161 and then a 261 extension right here, right? So it came up, came down, found support right at this 161, and then pushed off again. And now it's doing what I'm guessing is a similar move. So to me, this is actually something we were talking about in our book club yesterday with the can slim method. So it was O'Neill, I believe. And he was talking about, you don't want to necessarily look for the best. You want to look for things that have the least probability of losing you money in that model. And he was saying also that you want to look for something that makes a new base off of, it might be a new high. You might be buying at the high in one sense, but you're also looking for it to be like showing momentum after going up. All right. So in this one, again, I don't have my fib channel tool. I'll flip over to TradingView in a second. I mean, to be honest, this still looks bullish to me. And don't forget, there's all this sort of sympathy plays, right? Like the election, right? He's plugged in, Elon is plugged in with the incoming administration, presuming the Electoral College result is similar to the popular vote. Then yeah, he'll be really plugged in, no pun intended. And we just also had that SpaceX. We just had that SpaceX flight yesterday. The Starship test went well. There was a little fireball at the end. Sorry to spoil it if anyone did that, but they were really putting it through its paces. So, you know, if you look at Tesla in some ways as a proxy for investing in Elon, it's kind of what you see. So the trick is, right, if you're looking at it for a longer term versus if you're looking for it in the middle of the day. So I'm going to go here to, I think I was on a 10-minute chart. Oh, that's fine. I'll just zoom in. Oh, excuse me. All right, go to the more high power. So let's see what happens if we go here. I don't really like to include the wicks in there. When I'm using the HA candles, especially, I find when I'm using HA candles, I exclude the wicks and I do a fib channel. That's great too. Okay. This to me looks strong. It looks weak on the day, but it looks strong. How's the volume doing? Okay. So it's trying to break back up through the support line to confirm. But this just looks like back testing to me. Let's see. If I retrace it all the way down to here. Yeah, pretty much you'll see at each of these things it slightly undercuts the technical level and then just finds support. So I see here it's in a downtrend, but I bet you if we look at the fib channel, we'll see it working its way up in that channel down here. And then you see the 100%, it just comes under that. And then confirms support again, comes up, comes down. Now it's higher support, right? And this aligns perfectly with this. Well, it's down. You know, I'm checking the retracement back down here, but right. So we can trace it back down to each of the previous pops up, and we'll see. Look at this. It's right at this 23 fib that it was. You know, hitting resist, and you can think of that as support for a downwards move, right? It's like the 23 fib. It's like, okay, support there. And so you see a big push, and then it comes again. It's testing again and again, and if it comes back and does it again, right? It's 1, 2, 3. Well, 1. See, 2, 3 knocks on that line, and that'd be a fourth one. So. And let's see here on Tesla. Yeah, I haven't actually traded anything yet. I might take the trade in Tesla. Do I even have the? Right, I'll do this on mobile, just because that's what I have in front of me. So let's see here, and you can do this. You know, you can trade. You can even have the desktop and use the mobile to enter your trailing stops, which is what I do. So I'm going to take a small starter in Tesla. And this is, again, just for intraday. So I'm going to do this, and I'll see if it goes or if it gives it up. So if I do that, what am I risking? Okay. And immediately giving up the level. Go figure. But, you know, I was expecting that because it's really testing that push upwards there, right? And we've got, what do we have? VWAP and a 200 EMA right here. There's at the mid. Yeah, here's the VWAP. This darker one says to be the 200 EMA. And then if we zoom in, we look at these. I think these are Keltners that I have on here, but it's a strong test right there. We'll see if it holds. I bet you it holds. I bet you it holds. So let's go back to those Heikin-Ashi candles. And here we go. Trading hours. Yeah, here's the last time I drew lines in this. Wow, I am so sorry, guys. I don't mean to be yawning. It was actually a fun time. I don't do Tesla too much. It's not like my particular personal wheelhouse, but let's see. Oh yeah, if it holds here, then we're good. I mean, again, it's a little too clean technically. It makes me nervous, but sometimes it just is that clean. So let's see what happens. All right, folks, we're getting close. So let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. Let me see on this watch list if any of these guys looks. Got a couple actual windows here. Let's see if any of these guys looks like it's looking good. So TNXP. How are they doing? Ooh, not so hot there. All right. Oh man. Told you we've been working hard. We got some exciting stuff coming out, even more than the stuff you know about. So QSI, this was just business related moves. That was that merger. And so what I'd honestly do is I like to look for small pullbacks that I can get in on the morning. You can also look for, breakouts that, and you can look for a pullback within that, or just, you can chase it a little bit and go that way. There's different approaches you can take. Man, already up 100%. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna just look at these ones that had medical results or something. And I'm also gonna scroll down here, right? So I didn't clear this out. Sometimes I do, but I'm looking at the. This has some that are from earlier in this week in these sections of the list. So that's good. So what I could then do is just look at the news and see. So I'm looking for something that's got a little bit positive move, but nothing there. And what I need is the relative volume as well. So I don't think there's a way to have that in the watch list. If anyone knows a way to do that, let me know. That'd be pretty nice. What's this one? We got a nice little 2% move. We got only 52,000 shares. There's another one that's. Yeah, some of these are very, very thinly traded. TVGN. I might look at this. It's got plenty of volume. It's got an interesting size move, but it's kind of consolidating here. So I'm probably going to see what's going on with these guys, what's going on with TVGN, and look at that. Other than that, I am long Tesla for the moment, and I'm going to kind of hunt my regular things. Let me see what else I had swung over. I had an Oscar call. I'm guessing they're actually down a little bit on the day, so that might be another thing to re-enter. Oscar and OKLO. Those have been good to trade intraday this week on Trade the Pool, and they could be good swings as well. But there's some overnight movement on those. Looks like Bark is moving as well. That makes me happy. I love Bark. And see if there's any others in my kind of names. All right. Well, anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it of what I've got going on. That's my day. That's sort of my routine. Hopefully that gives some answers there as far as how we can look at Tesla, what we can get out of there, and some different techniques for doing it as well. So as always, go ahead and put a note in the comments or come on the Discord and let us know if you're having any questions there too. So with that, once again, join the competition. Go to the competition site, sign up. If you have not done so already, do the free trial, get familiar with the platform, and can't wait to see you in the Discord. Can't wait to see you back on the live show. And yeah, can't wait for the competition. It's going to be a blast, everyone. So stock and roll. Oh, and by the way, I apologize. If people are still posting new comments, then the comment feed is a little bit dead, so they're not updating. could be just that quiet. Anyway, thanks everyone. Stock and roll. Here's my outro. Never done the outro before. I'm excited. Oh, it does it automatically. All right, stock and roll.